Hey y'all, what's good? Good afternoon. Leaving church, headed to a buffet for cheat days this month. There's this Indian buffet that I love, y'all. I know what I should do is just drive home and eat my vegan food, but they have vegan food there too. But there's this salad there that they have that I love. It's nothing but like cucumber, tomatoes, onions, and it's like in this real tangy sauce. Oh, and jalapeno. No, it's not jalapenos. These are like serranos. These are really hot chilies or some kind of pepper. That salad is good. Some chapati, some naans. Oh, I love Indian food, y'all. My favorite dish is an Indian dish. Any day ones will know what that dish is. Leave it in the comments. But anyway, what I wanted to talk to y'all about was this YouTuber has her channel is named Stefco. Her name is Stephanie. She made this video that's gone viral about pretty privilege. It said something like, I don't have pretty privilege and that sucks. And then LHP, which is Locked Honey Princess, did a response, and I think she's still in the process of doing a response to it. And she did a response, and I left a comment in her comments basically saying, I don't think you're the person to do a response to this. It's like a white person trying to, say white privilege doesn't exist. I say you are A, pretty, B, or A, light skin, B, pretty, 3, fine, 4, hazel eyes, C, D, whatever letter I'm on by now, the 5th letter of the alphabet, A, B, C, D, E, hazel eyes. Like, she got everything that black men put on a pedestal. You know what I mean? She got the body, the face, the eyes, everything. Like, people literally pay money to have a body like hers, or lips like hers, or eyes like hers, or hair like hers. Like, so to me, you're not the best person to talk about pretty privilege, like validating it or not. I, on the other hand, look more like Stefco. I'm a dark-skinned black woman, nappy hair, average looking at best. That's my own opinion, Now, I have on makeup right now, so I look better than I do without makeup, and I have long hair, but it's nappy long hair. It's not naturally curly. But I feel like I'm in a better position to talk about that video. Plus, when Stefco did that video, she was doing it for Mental Health Awareness Month. So when I look in LHP's comments, a lot of people, and I get this in general, a lot of people are saying, oh, she has low self-esteem, blah, blah, blah. Has she considered dating outside the race? She addresses that in other subsequent videos. She doesn't limit herself to Tyrone's. No matter who she dates, white, black, no matter, she don't have pretty privilege. And I agree with her. When you don't have pretty privilege, you cannot relate to what it's like not to have it. Like, okay, y'all know I have a very attractive mother. And growing up, I don't know at what age I learned that being dark-skinned was not a good thing in the black community. I don't know what age I learned that, but at some very young age, I realized that, or I was taught that by society. Now, my mom never taught me that. She would always say stuff like, oh, I wish I was brown-skinned. I wish I was dark-skinned. But she has 2 light-skinned parents, and she came out looking the way she's looking. And at some point, I realized or learned that I wasn't A, pretty, or that I wasn't B, that being dark-skinned wasn't a good thing in the black community. So I feel like people that have pretty privilege cannot, and I'm not saying that because you're dark-skinned doesn't mean you can't have pretty privilege. Like, special subscriber number 1, I email her a lot, and I emailed her about this, and she said, well, don't tell me you think being dark-skinned women can't have pretty privilege. I said, no, I didn't say that. To me, you take a Naomi Campbell, there's certain dark-skinned women that I feel like do have pretty privilege. Stefco is not one of those. I'm not one of those. We are not what our society deems as pretty. We're not thin. We have wide noses, ethnic noses, blah, blah, blah. The list goes on. So when I see someone that is attractive and that does have pretty privilege, say, oh, well, this girl is just depressing and she's taking these things out of context and blah, blah, blah. I can't, y'all. I can't. And so when I looked at her comments, well, other than my comment, and that was, this morning, she released a video today. Today is, like, July the 11th, maybe 2021. I don't really know. At 12:24 p.m. is when I'm recording this. So at that point in the comments, I was the only one. I was the only detractor. But I don't know what these women look like in the comments. But when you, first of all, yeah, when you have a low self-esteem, which I've told y'all many times before, I do. When society tells you're not pretty for whatever reason, whoever you're dating, it's clear that you're not pretty, whether you're not thin enough or whatever. And when you do have mental health issues, I don't know what Steph Cole's mental health issues before, but I've told y'all, I've shared with y'all repeatedly what my mental health issues are. I'm not mentally healthy. I have to take pills and have therapy to be mentally healthy. So I have depression and I have borderline personality disorder. So I have a comorbidity. I have two things working against me, constantly telling me I'm not good enough. Now, there are certain things I feel like I'm good enough at, but being pretty is not one of them. If someone, says, Kat, can you figure out this problem? I feel like I'm smart enough. I can read a book and understand something enough to teach it to someone else. If someone says, Kat, walk in a room and be a head turner, I don't know how to do that. I don't care how much makeup I put on, with wig. Now, I can't say thin enough because I'm going to a buffet right now and I'm already fat. So, but I've had friends that are pretty, and when they walk in a room, every man stops and stares. I don't know what that's like because I've never been that chick. Even when I was thin, I wasn't that chick. When I dated the white guy and we would go out places, people would stop and stare, but it was more because it was back then a social taboo for an older white man to be dating a young black woman, and I think that's still probably taboo. But I just, to me, people who are mentally healthy, you're mentally well, you've never had to go see a therapist, you've never had to be on any type of psychotropic medication to make you normal. You can't understand, first of all, the self-esteem. And I used to watch Shira, and Shira would always say stuff like, where's your self-esteem? And I'm thinking, first of all, I don't know what you went through as a child, but looking the way you look, you're what black men pedestalize, so you can't possibly understand. Self-esteem doesn't exist in a vacuum. I can think all day long that I'm attractive and I'm pretty and I'm smart or whatever else it is that men look for, I'm fine. But if the world is telling me through media, through what I look at, whether it's an Instagram model, like LHP, from what I understand, I'm not on Instagram, but from what I understand, she's an Instagram model. You can't be ugly and be an Instagram model. If people are clicking, which is what I have my navigation on, y'all, which is what I assume people do on Instagram. I don't know, because I'm not on Instagram. I have no interest in getting on Instagram. But from what I understand, to be an Instagram model, you have to be attractive. You can't understand not have pretty privilege if you're pretty. And to me, you shouldn't speak on it if you're not. And this is no disrespect to her. I have subscribed to her since her old channel. You know what I mean? But I just feel like there's certain things certain people shouldn't talk about. And, saying to someone, well, you just have low self-esteem, or you're taking these issues out of context. When you listen to the video, she talks about a couple of things where, LHP was saying she was taking these things out of context. And I'm like, whether the idea was hers or not, or whether whatever was whatever at the club or not, she doesn't have pretty privilege, and you don't know what that's like. This to me like, a white person telling me, oh, racism doesn't exist. You're not in my shoes, so how would you know? How would you know racism doesn't exist? You know what I mean? You don't know. I know because I'm black in America. So,
in 1 mile, use the right lane to take exit 453A, State Highway 360 North,
so I'm saying this not just because I think, Stephanie doesn't have pretty privilege. It's a combination of things. And she makes subsequent videos explaining about pretty privilege, what people got wrong with it, misinterpretations people had of it. And one of the things she talked about was mental health awareness. You're not going to always be up. A lot of my material is funny and it's ha, girl, you crazy. And a lot of it makes you want to cry your eyes out, And a lot of her material is like that. A lot of her material is what people who don't have depression and stuff would say is sad. On the other hand, I think because I have severe depression now, right now I'm at a good place. On a scale, I'm not remotely depressed, but I have to take medicine and therapy to be that way. You know what I mean? I have a therapist I see regularly. I have 2 therapists I see regularly. And I have medication I take daily.
To exit 453A, State Highway 360 North, DFW Airport.
without the medication me taking daily, I would not be a free woman, because my mind is so messed up that I would do stuff that would risk my life and my freedom. Because that's what I mean. So I don't know what Steph Cole's issues are mentally, you know, as far as mental health go. But when you haven't grown up with the kind of, oh Lord, I cannot start crying. I'm gonna have to close this video off. But just please believe me when I tell you, if you are attractive and you think pretty privilege doesn't exist, or you feel like she's taking issues out of context, it's because you're privileged. You don't get it.
Straight for 4 minutes to I-30, Six Flags Drive.
And you never will. You know, I know a lot of times I talk about things like, there's certain things that I'm glad I'm not. I'm glad I'm not a single mother. I'm glad I'm a college graduate. I speak from a place of privilege in being a college graduate. I remember when I first started out my channel and I used to go freestyling, the women that would watch my channel that didn't go to college would be like, well, I wouldn't know how to talk to, you know, those kind of men because I haven't been to college. And I came from a place of privilege in assuming that everybody can hold a conversation with someone educated of another race and opposite sex. You know, and we all have privilege in different ways, whether you have pretty privilege or you have, you know, intellectual privilege, you have college privilege, you have body privilege, you have feature privilege. You know, we all have privilege in different ways. You know, white privilege, light skin privilege, all that stuff exists. So I wish people would try to put I wish people would put their feet in other people's shoes, but sometimes you just can't. No matter how hard you try, you just can't put your feet in other people's shoes because you have no idea what it's like to walk a mile in their shoes. And I'll leave it at that because I'm about to cry and I don't want to cry. Today is Sunday. I'm happy. Our choir was back for the first time since lockdown started. It was wonderful. Great. Our pastor preached a great service. So I'm going to leave this. I'm going to stop here because I don't want to cry. But, you know, LHP don't come from a throat. Any of y'all that's pretty light skin, a combination thereof, don't come from a throat. Just trying to get you to understand, when you're an average looking woman or average at best or whatever looking woman, or an unattractive woman, I'm just go ahead and put it out there, or unattractive woman, you know, you have to be, you know, I just feel like she has a point. Now, I made a video, and I'll try to link it in this video in the, you know, little drop down box that talks about pretty women and ugly women have different problems. And this is basically, it's a comedic take on pretty privilege, which I don't have. So, you know, you're going to look at it differently, okay? Anyway, you guys make it a great day. Right now, my weight loss, you know, I had a cheat day Friday, so I fasted all day yesterday. I only drank water. I do have another cheat day, I do believe, because I'm pretty sure I'm going to eat some stuff at this buffet that's not vegan. They're not only vegan, but Daniel vegan. So, right now, when I weighed myself this morning, I was 199.8 or 6, I think. And so any of y'all that don't know what I'm talking about, by the end of this month, I'm supposed to have lost 20 pounds. And so right now, I'm only down 5. And I said I was only going to have 2 cheat days this month. But here I go with another cheat day. My fourth cheat day, and the month ain't even remotely halfway over with, you know. So yeah, that's a problem. But what happens when I get
Exit right to I-30, Six Flags Drive.
When I get paid, I be so happy to have some money that I can do some. Oh, these lanes merge. That I can actually do something that I, you know, like to treat myself. It's like a little $12 buffet, you know. So your girl gonna go ahead and go eat some Indian food and probably fast tomorrow too. Okay, bye y'all.